Dyslexia sucks. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my personal encounters with dyslexia. And the reason why I did this is because some stuff happened today. So I wanted to talk about it. If y'all don't know me, I'm Whitney. I'm 22. And I guess I can just tell you my thoughts and my personal experiences behind the dyslexia. So, I don't know when I was first diagnosed with dyslexia. I know I was probably like in elementary school. And the only reason why I got tested is because I wasn't learning as fast as the others, I think. And so we went and we got tested, and long story short, they were like, okay, yeah, she has it, but my school was trying to put me in the special ed program, which wasn't the case because I'm not special ed, but I later found out that the more kids that they have in this special ed class, the more money they get. And it's sad because I see all these kids in that, and it's like over half of them, or not, maybe not half, but a few of them don't need to be in there. But when I was little, I don't know, I suck at math. I've always sucked at math. I was all over the place, we'd be doing spelling words, and my mom would be like, how do you spell cat? And I'm like, K, U, and I'd be sitting upside down, and it was just a hot mess. We tried all different kind of medicine, and I would take it in the morning and at noon or at lunchtime, and so I would go every day at lunch. While everybody else would go to lunch, I would stop by the office because they had to keep it concealed up, and I would get my medicine, and then I would go to lunch, which wasn't a problem because half the time I got out of class sooner and got to lunch before everybody. But I don't know, it wasn't like I had to take it in front of everybody. So I did that, and then my teacher, I think she wrote my mom a letter, or called my mom and was like, look, something's wrong with Whitney, I think she needs to be held back. And I did. So I was supposed to graduate in 2011, but I graduated in 2012. So all my friends were above me, and I don't know, I don't really remember I remember being held back, but I don't remember it being a problem, just because I was so little, so I guess I was just meh. But elementary school, so me and the people who I was friends with, we aren't friends with now, just because separate, and I got so many other friends, which, there's a lot of blessings, because my friends now I wouldn't have, so, but whatever, it all works out. I would fail every test, every read a story, answer questions, suck at it. Writing an essay, I suck at. So it was hard. Let's see. When I got to probably late elementary, middle school, which is middle school, or elementary is kindergarten through 5th grade, and then middle school is 6th through 8th, and then 9th through 12th is our high school. So that's our system. And I guess late elementary, early high school everybody would read a paragraph, and that was terrible. I feel like that's when my anxiety, which I didn't know was anxiety until now, but it sucked. I didn't want to read in front of people, because, you know, big words, I still have to, I don't even know half of them today. Like, so I would count, you know, we would be sitting in a row and I would count each student, and then I would count to like where my paragraph was, and they're reading, I don't know what they're reading about, I don't know, I'm reading my paragraph and trying to mentally, so I won't stumble over it in class. And so that's what I did. And now looking back, you know, there was kids that couldn't read or couldn't read as well, and everybody's just like, oh, they're dumb, oh, and I'm like, no, they have dyslexia. Like, I can spot it. So I guess in middle school, me and my mom went to Texas, like Dallas, Texas, to Linda Mood Bell, which is a like school for dyslexia, basically. It's amazing. I would really recommend it. I don't know if it's still in Texas, but look it up. It's just Linda Mood Bell. It's amazing. It's expensive. I think, like, I don't know, probably, I think my grandma and grandpa spent like $60,000, so that's like what you're looking forward to, but it's worth it, because I don't think I would be at the level that I am now if I wouldn't have went there. And I think the first year I went, I was only supposed to be there for like 4 weeks, and it was simple, like A, E, I, O, I, E, you know, learning the vowels and all this. And they told my mom that I needed to be there 6 weeks, because the school that I went to taught me wrong. Like, I guess I would just and instead of being like A, like, I was just saying it wrong. So that was 6 weeks. So I would go to school, have probably like a week or two break, pack up, go to Dallas with me and my mom. We like stayed in a hotel, so that's more money if you don't live around the area. And for 6 weeks, went to school, normal day. Got up, went to school at like 8 in the morning, came home at like 3 maybe. So that sucked. After the 6 weeks, came back home, had a few weeks, or maybe till like a month, went back to school. And I did that routine for probably 4 summers. So school, break, and I was tired. I was so ready to just have a normal summer, because, you know, everybody's back here having normal summers and I'm in Dallas. But it did help me. So we stopped going there, and I still have trouble with math, hence why I've taken college algebra like 5 times now. But I remember being in middle school, and there's like certain things that like just stick out in my mind. We had a substitute, and I don't know, it was in middle school where, you know, one teacher taught like 4 subjects, and then the other teacher taught 4 subjects, and so we had a substitute. She didn't leave that I was dyslexic. She just gave us all these worksheets, and like I didn't know what to do. And then you have all these little preppy kids over here that were like, each one was going up and asking the substitute a question, so then they had the whole worksheet filled out. And I think, like, I went up to this one, and I was like up there a couple times because I just didn't get it. And I remember she was looking at the paper, and she looked at me and said, "Whitney, everybody else gets it, why don't you?" In front of the whole class. I was mortified. Like, that's like in front of the whole class, asking me why I didn't get it. Everybody else get it, why didn't I get it? First off, you just don't do that. You don't do that. Secondly, my mom almost killed somebody. Because my mom's very protective, as a mother is. But if you are dyslexic, or if you are a parent of a dyslexic child, have meetings at the beginning of the year. Honestly, that, I think, made a total difference. Because you can sue the school or a teacher if they're not following the law. And my mom had to remind them a couple times, and she would just start off the school year being like, look, I can sue you. Not that we ever did or that we wanted to, but I feel like you have to scare the teachers sometimes, because they don't, half of them don't care, you know. And so I never really had a problem. But I suggest looking into the law, know your rights, because if you're not special ed but you're not normal, then they don't know where to place you. So so that wasn't good. Then I remember growing up, it was just like I had some battles. My first job was at Subway, and I didn't even get on the payroll because she gave me literally 8 hours to learn the whole entire menu. And then she said, oh, we're going to do an oral test, and if you fail it, then I don't need you. Well, of course I failed it. Like, I was over here studying for, like, the job more than I was for school. And, like, I don't know, I just started crying in the middle of Subway, and I was just thinking, okay, I can't even get a job at Subway. How am I supposed to get a job? You know? And so, whatever, I let go there, you know. We had a friend that worked at, like, the library, and I think my mom went in, yeah, my mom went in and was like, hey, can Whitney get an application? Well, she knows that I'm dyslexic. And she just downright denied me an application. And my mom was like, okay, that's illegal. Like, illegal, because you're supposed to give everybody an application. And even if she didn't want me to work there, which working at the library, I don't know, because I didn't work there, but our library is such a small town, like 2,000 something people in the whole entire town. It's not that hard, you know. So Mom was like, okay, I can own this library, but, you know, we didn't. We let it go. And then I got the job at McDonald's. And I'm honestly surprised that I worked there for so long. I worked there for like a year or over a year. It was bad. Like, they knew I was dyslexic, but yet I think they took that and ran with it because, you know, your drawer had to be a certain amount. I can make change. Obviously, I'm a human. I'm alive. I, you know, buy stuff. So I can make money. Well, give change. But there was multiple times where my drawer was short. And it was, oh, but you're dyslexic, so you might have, like, counted something wrong. No, like, sure, there might have been one time or a few times, but when there's like $20-something missing and a manager was on my drawer and they're known for stealing, it's not me. Especially when they go months at a time and my perfect is like on the dot, like 1 penny away. Anyway, that's a whole nother video. But needless to say, I quit McDonald's. It was terrible. That's a whole nother video. Comment if you want to know. And then today I had an interview for a deli, our hometown one and only grocery store, the deli part. And they gave me a sheet that said, oh, can you make change? And it was like a test. And all of a sudden I was back in elementary school, you know, when you had to do them like, what was it, 3 minutes, 1 minute, division multiplication sheet, I was back there. She's like, okay, well, if you do good on this and you pass this, then me and blank will be in, and we'll get you the paperwork. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, nope. But I did it, and it was complicated, but it wasn't. It was like $100 and something, and then you had a row or a column for like 20s, 10s, 5, and then you had to make change the least amount. Whereas me, if I'm doing 40 cents, I'm going to give you 40 dimes. No, that's not the least amount, but if I'm not mentally capable of counting a quarter and a dime and a nickel and for 40 cents. To me, it doesn't matter. As long as the person is getting the right amount of change and my drawer is great and is the right amount, what's the problem? That's just me. And so the first time they were like, oh, well, maybe you were just nervous, but if you don't pass the test this time, then we can't hire you. I was like, yeah. So I was just doing it, and like, I tried, trust me, I tried, and I got more right on the second time. But they were like, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't pass it, and I just got my keys, and the woman said, well, maybe if you can come back in a couple of months. Is it rude that I laughed in her face? Probably not, because in a couple of months, my dyslexia is still here. My dyslexia, I didn't wake up one day and be like, oh, here's my dyslexia. It's me. Like, I feel like no one has any knowledge about it, and it's sad because people and students struggle with it, and they just get thrown to the side, and like, I don't know. I'm not really that worried about it. It just like upsets me because it's like, oh, there it is again. Instead of damn Daniel, it's, oh, damn dyslexia. Here you are again, showing out, didn't get that job. And like I said, I live in a very small town, so there's not very many job opportunities. So that's my experience with dyslexia. I know it's been like a long video, but it's been 22 years with dyslexia. So if y'all have any more questions or comments, leave them in the comments below, and I guess I will talk to y'all later. Bye.